Hello, I'm Ashley Crosby. I'm a mixed media abstract artist and brush maker from North Florida. I've been painting for about 7 years now. I gather my inspiration from nature and natural elements. You'll find that my work is minimal and has a more neutral palette. I love to create both physical and visual texture in my art. I often create my own collage materials from recycled papers, paints, and hand-dyed fabric. And I was working through this, as I was working through this collection and creating this body of work, each piece representing something else, but building upon each other. As an artist, I chose to let the viewer have their own experience and thoughts and come up with their own story for each painting. So this one, Broken Promises, has a lot of visual texture instead of physical texture. And it does have some collage, graphite, and charcoal. And then Filling the Void has both visual and physical texture. And it's like I've taken the back of a paintbrush and I've etched into the paint, the wet paint. So it's quite textured. And then this one, both visual and texture. The collage piece, the beige piece, I actually made specific for this painting. And then the three dark lines at the bottom are actually wire that I have mounted on the canvas.
That's so cool.
And then these two were actually created on a see-through paper, and I mounted them on watercolor paper. So you can see the texture of the watercolor paper through, but then you see all the texture of the paint and the pastel, and then actual collage paper on top of the paint and the graphite. And then these, I actually made the collage paper itself on both these pieces, the big black pieces and the brown pieces. And those kind of mimic rust. And then this is a more visual textured piece. Although it does look textured, but it is actually a more visual textured piece.
Did you say, Ashley, I think when we were talking last night, you said that it's pretty smooth to the feel, to the touch?
Yeah. It's very deceiving. Like it looks like it'd be a rough painting, or you could really feel the texture, but it's a rather smooth painting, but visually it has a lot of dimension.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you. And then this is a highly textured piece with many layers of acrylic paint. This is one of my favorite pieces.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
It almost looks like you can just see right through it, doesn't it? Like you could just almost step into it. Yeah. Really pretty.
Yeah.
You're really
And
skilled at
piece,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was talking about the very last piece, but go ahead.
I was just going to say you're really skilled at that visual texture, you know, that it looks so, it looks like if you touched it, it would have, you know, like you'd feel it, but that's really nice how you do that.
Like it has a history. Like that's, that's what I like to create in my work. Like, it's not new. It does, there's a history there somewhere.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Stephanie, before you start with the next one, someone was asking about the list. And since people who just entered can't see posts before they enter, could you repost that list
Yes.
of websites?
I saw that and I did repost it, but I'm going to repost every couple of minutes in case people come and go. So yeah,
Beautiful.
Thanks for reminding me.
Perfect.
Okay.
Ashley, I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
I love that last one, and it just, it occurred to me, you must have a really, you must use very larger tools, I suppose, than I do to get some of these big, simple forms. And I think that that's really beautiful. And so the one after this, I think, with the large oval sort of filling and spilling off the page that I was thinking about.
Yeah, well, looks are really deceiving. My tools aren't really that big.
Although, Ashley,
That is a struggle, like finding, excuse me, finding bigger tools to create these, to create on bigger pieces. Like, that is a constant. I'm always on the search for different brushes or different tools to make bigger marks. And then,
Ashley, can you talk a little bit about the your brush making? Because I think that's fascinating.
oh, sure. I gather my materials from my farm here, and I cut the wood, and I use the found bristles or natural fibers, and I don't know. I just look at the wood and I kind of go from there, and it leads me to whatever, like sometimes I'll use feathers. Sometimes, it just really depends, or, yarn or string or fabric. And it just really depends. Like, the wood really determines what the brush is going to be. But
Yeah.
they're also like, they're pretty to look at, so like just to display, and they're both are then you can also use them in your artwork.
And they're for sale on your website, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I was gonna ask whether you show images of them on your website, because I think that would be a very interesting aspect of your work.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Someone
then-
says that holding out hope looks like a face with no features. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, I love to see what other people what they come up with, what they feel, about my paintings. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
The path to get there, it is a more visual textured piece, but it does have some texture, but mostly visual texture. And the bronze paint is metallic. It's kind of hard to reflect that on a
yeah, the
computer
metallics,
screen, but
the metallic paints just don't show up in photographs or
No.
on video.
No.
You just can't see the reflective nature of them very well, can you?